You are on mute, I think.
Okay, yeah, sorry, I was on mute. Okay, so yesterday, till yesterday we had discussed data warehouse design. Okay, so as part of data warehouse design, we need to know what is star schema and what is snowflake schema. And we know that star schema, in order to know what is star schema and snowflake schema, we need to know what is fact table and dimension table. So fact table means only numerical values or measures it will store. So numerical values or measures is called fact data or fact table. And similarly, what is dimension data means textual or descriptive data is called dimension data. Okay, so then what is star schema? Star schema means a fact table surrounded by denormalized. That is important. Fact table surrounded by denormalized dimension tables is called star schema because it will appear like a stars. That's why they are calling it as a star schema. Fact table surrounded by denormalized. Denormalized means all the data will be present in a single table. Okay, so there is no further split. So snowflake means fact table surrounded by normalized dimension table. Normalized means tables will be further divided into small tables. So yeah, that is star schema and snowflake schema. Okay, cool. Okay, then yeah, so we have also seen since in star schema dimension tables are denormalized, so you don't have to join them to get whatever data you want. So you will have less joins, but since all the data will be present in only a few tables, so data will be more redundancy. So since redundancy means it will obviously occupy the more storage. But in snowflake schema, since tables are further divided, so you need to join them to get the desired data. So there will be more joins. But since it will avoid the redundancy, so less storage it will occupy. So we should never say that star schema is better and snowflake schema are better. Both has their own advantages. We should say advantages. We should not say disadvantages like in a flow. We generally tend to both have their own advantages. There is nothing like disadvantages. Both has their own pros or both have their own advantages. And yeah, customers will be using based on their reporting requirement. Some customers will be using specifically snowflake schema if they want to report at the at multiple dimension levels. Okay, otherwise yeah, both can be used to get whatever reporting they need. Okay, fine. So then the next question comes, what is that we are doing in the real time? So this is today's concept. What is that we are doing in the IT? So we as a software developer, especially in the data world means database, data warehouse, and of course as a big data. What is that we are doing in the real time is we are basically involved in loading data. Loading, of course, if required, unloading as well. Okay, so that's fine. I will come to that point. So what is that loading? I will tell you. Generally, every day there will be so many transactions that are happening, right? For example, you take banking. Every day so many deposits will be happening. Okay, so withdrawals will be happening. Okay, and many fixed deposits will be opened. Many loans will be opened. So many credit cards will be issued. That is in case of banking. Similarly, even you take insurance, many insurance policies will be issued. Okay, or many people will pay their premiums. Okay, the yearly premium or monthly premium or quarterly premium, or many policies will be matured, so they need to be closed. So like that. And similarly, you take any retail like supermarkets. Many customers will be coming and many items will be sold. So as the items are getting sold, they have to get the new stock. Okay, and of course they will be sold again, and they have to get again new stock. So that means every day so much data is getting generated. Okay, every day different customers will be coming. So and you take the railway reservation. So every day so many tickets will be issued. Okay, so many customers at different places, different trains, and of course all that amount they have to, I mean, they should have a proper calculations, and they have to hand over that amount to the whatever that railway people, I mean government. So everything need to be taken care. So all these are all called transactions. These are all called actually OLTP transactions. Online transaction processing means they are called POS, point of sale. Yeah, point of sale means where the end transactions are happening. Okay, I will be discussing about OLTP and OLAP again. OLTP means online transaction processing, where all these end transactions will be happening. So all these transactions will be loaded into the data warehouse. Okay, at the end of the day, generally at the end of the day. For example, all the transactions that are happening at the bank ATM or bank, I mean, if you go in person, that bank will be loaded into their warehouse at the end of the day. I mean, means at the midnight, till all the for all the 24 hours transactions will be loaded. Actually, they will be stored throughout the day, and at the end of the day they will load. Similarly, you take railway reservation, everything, all the transactions that are generated will be loaded into the warehouse at the end of the day. So that means all the data will be captured in a file. Okay, so that file will be loaded at the end of. That's what we are actually, we as a software engineer will develop the pipelines. Pipelines means generally earlier it was called ETL, extract, transform, load. Extract, transform, load. Nowadays we are calling it as loading by using Spark and Python. These tools. Earlier ETL tools will be there, extract, transform, load. But nowadays, yeah, because of the increased data, and earlier only relational data used to come, but nowadays, logging data and signals, video, streaming data, and all types of data is coming. So yeah, the tools got changed. So things like Spark, big data, yeah. So these tools came to process that both structured, unstructured, and semi-structured data. So that means basically nowadays, now also we have to do this loading. Okay, so to load into warehouse, to load into data warehouse. So in order to load, we have to write some scripts. They are called ETL scripts, or generally we call jobs. Job means some script which will do a particular thing. What is that particular thing? Loading. Okay, what we will do as part of loading? I'll show you. What we will do as part of loading is, yeah. So this is what we will be doing as part of loading. Source will be there. Okay, your target will be there. So in source, for example, all the ATM transactions are happening at the they are called OLTP, means so they will be actually stored in some OLTP databases like MySQL, RDS, Postgres. Okay, like the databases they will be stored. When you do a ATM transaction, the data will be stored right till last midnight, where they will be stored. They will be stored, or sometimes they can be stored in a flat file also. Okay, so they will be stored. So at the end of the day, what we do is we will write a script. What the script will do is that will extract this data. See this arrow, this means it will extract data from that source. What the source will have? The source will have all the 24 hours transactions that happened today, and it will be, I mean, put into S3. S3 is, in AWS environment, S3 will come into picture. S3 means it's a place where all the, I mean, if you want to process any data, will first place in S3. S3 is the like storage, simple storage service. I'll talk about it later. So yeah, here they will put all the data which we want to process. So yeah, after putting in S3, I mean, we'll be doing some processing kind of thing, like, for example, any failed transactions, we have to discard them. Generally, when we go to ATM, if you enter a card and if you enter a wrong pin, it will say incorrect pin, like that it will say, right? So like that. Or if you enter some, for example, 850 rupees you entered, then it will say please enter only in multiples of 100 or 500, like that. So yeah, like that. So any failed transactions, we will be filtering them. That means we basically clean all the data which is not right or which is incorrect, and then only valid transactions we will load it into target. Okay, so your target can be your Redshift or Teradata or maybe Snowflake, any data warehousing. Okay, so your target, basically my point is we load all the data into target database. Generally it is the data warehouse. So it can be not only Redshift, it can be like Google BigQuery or Azure data warehouse or Teradata or Snowflake, whatever it may be. Okay, so here you see, while loading, see here the term load. Here loading only we will be using this SCD type 1, type 2, type 3. Okay, now that means in the staging layer we cleaned all the data, means filtering or deleting all the unwanted data or failed transactions, and then only valid transactions will get it ready in the work. So this is called staging layer. In the staging layer, we'll do basically all the cleaning and processing of the data and get ready with the only valid data which we want to load. So while loading, we'll implement this SCD type 1, type 2, type 3. Okay, so this is what our today's discussion. What is this SCD type 1, type 2, type 3? Generally in the entry, you'll ask, do you know like SCD, or do you know what is SCD? SCD means slowly changing dimensions. Okay, why? Because you see all the dimensions you take, like customer dimension or product dimension or any dimensions will tend to change over time, right? For example, sometimes a brand supplier will be promoting some products. After some time, he will discontinue that and he will release the same product with a different name or different color or different size and different shape, like that. And similarly, even customers also, you see, for example, for example, take employees. Employee is again a dimension table, or customer is again dimension table. So employees, their designation will change, right? For example, he may join like associate engineer, but after 1 year he may become something like, software engineer. Then after 2 years he may become senior software engineer, and his salary will change, his department will change if he is assigned to a different project. So that means data of an employee is going to change over time. Okay, so that's why they are called slowly changing dimensions. So slowly changing dimensions can be implemented in 3 ways while loading into data warehouse. They are called SCD type 1, type 2, type 3. He will ask, do you know? I mean, he don't say slowly changing dimensions. He will say, do you know what is SCD? Yes, slowly changing dimensions. What are different types of slowly changing dimensions? Different types of slowly changing dimensions are SCD type 1, SCD type 2, SCD type 3. You should say like that. Don't say type 1, type 2, type 3. Slowly changing dimensions are mostly categorized into SCD type 1, SCD type 2, SCD type 3. Okay. So then he will ask you, can you please tell me what is SCD type 1? In SCD type 1, we maintain the current data. Current data means what? Most active data or most latest data, you can say. For example, you may be a software engineer, joined as associate engineer in the beginning, maybe 1 year ago, but now you recently got promoted as a system engineer. Then your record should show as a system engineer. What is your designation at the time of joining? Associate engineer, forget about it. That's the past data. But right now, what is your designation? System engineer. So that only should be reflected in this table. And take another example, employee table. HRs will have access to employee data. Okay, and let's say, I mean, out of let's say there are 10,000 employees in a company, and out of 10,000, maybe let's say some 100 people are resigned or they left the company maybe 6 months ago or 1 year ago. That data should not be there in the employee data that HRs are generally referring every day, because they are not active or they are not no more with the company. So that data may be present in a different table, but not the table that the HRs are referring every day for payroll processing and for leave granting. I mean, for the day-to-day referring of the employee. Okay, that means there are certain tables which need to have latest information, current information, you can say. Instead of saying latest, you should say current. Current means every field is up to date, or it will have only current salary, current designation, current location, okay, current project, current department, current manager, everything latest. Maybe he is reporting to a different manager in the last project. Forget about it. Where is he working right now? Who is the manager he is reporting right now? In which location he is right now? What is his department? What is his salary? So that is what actually SCD type 1 means. Actually, why there are three different? Because based on the business need, yeah, there are certain tables which need to be have only latest data, current data, and there are certain tables which need to have, I'm talking about this one, which need to have current data plus only last 3 months data or last 6 months data, and there are certain tables which need to have current data plus full history beginning from when he joined, okay, for the business. So they will maintain three different types of tables. Okay, now let's talk about SCD type 1. SCD type 1 means it will maintain only current data. For example, you take employee records, I said, right? Employee table. It will have only current data, current salary, current manager, current department, current location of the employee. Bus. So that means how do you take care of it? This is called every day you will get file, right? So that file will be loaded. I mean, truncate and load. Truncate and load means you will delete all the existing data and load the data that is coming every day. I mean, actually, you see in this diagram, extract is there, right? This extract. This extracts, of course, again of three types. Increment, I mean, two types: incremental extract and full extract. Incremental extract. Incremental extract means only transaction that happened today will be extracted. Full extract means every day all the data you will extract. Every day you will pull all the records, especially if the transactions are very less in. You take, loans, loans, these transactions or credit cards. Those are very less in actually. In a day, hardly maybe 10,000 or at the max, 1 lakh records will be generated. So for that, they will try to extract full extract every day. But you see, ATM transactions or deposits, withdrawals, and railway, they are very, very high in number. So if the transactions are too many, they will extract, incremental extract. Based on volume only, they will decide, shall we go ahead with full extract or incremental extract? If the data is very less, they will go ahead with full extract. Full extract means all the data will be pulled every day. Incremental extract means only that particular day's data will be pulled every day as part of the loop. So if all the data is pulled every day, so tables, they just delete the existing data and load it. That is what truncate and load. Truncate means delete and load means insert the file that you are bringing that day. So every day they will delete the old data and load the data file that is coming, which is a full file. Okay, so that's what SCD type 1 means. Every day you will delete the data that is there in the table and load the file that you are getting from the source. Okay. if it is an incremental extract means what you will do is, if it is incremental extract, you will just delete the existing records and insert the new records. For example, a record got employee, for example, his salary got updated from 30,000 to 40,000. He will update that 30,000 to 40,000 because the employee is already there. And some new employee joined, he will insert that new employee into the table if it is a incremental extract. So finally, what we are doing here is we are making sure the table will have the latest data. That's all. If salary got changed, you should update it. If designation got changed, you should update it. Or his location got changed, you should update it. Or some new employees joined, you should add that record into the table. Or if some employee resigned, you just delete it like that. But finally, make sure employee table is having current data or latest data. So basically, this we will write some SQLs, SQL. That's why SQL is very, very, very important. I said in the data world. Okay. So SQL, for example, how do you delete data? You should know. Or how do you update table? You should know. Okay. So how do you get matching records from both the tables? For example, I have two tables. Okay. I have two tables, right? So okay, so this is one table, this is one table. So this is stage table. Okay, stage means we are bringing data from source to stage, right? In S3 and then stage, and then we are loading the data into this one, this target table. So we need to load the stage data into target data. Okay, but in order to truncate and load means that is very simple. Delete the data from target and just load it. Okay, there you don't have to do anything. Every day you're getting full file, you'll delete data from target table, delete means truncate here. You will delete data from target table and you load it. So there you don't have to do anything. But if you're extracting incremental data, okay, you're extracting incremental data, but in your target you have already some 10,000 records. Today, okay, in today's file you got some 50 records. So now what you do, you should see whether these 50 records, if it is new records, you should insert it. If some records got updated, you should update them like that. You should, so you should know the queries. How do you check which records got updated, or how do you check which records are new? For example, out of 50, 40 records are new, then you should be writing a query here, so yeah, first of all you need to identify the new records. Okay, first of all you need to identify the new records. Okay, how do you identify? Select star from stage.table. I just write some sample queries so that you will get an idea. Select star from stage.table. This table you can say as employee or department or customer or anything. Okay, for now I'll just mention as stage.table. Table is your table name, let's say. Select star from stage.table where employee ID, let's say employee ID. Of course, I'll take as an employee. Where employee ID not in, select emp ID from target.emp. Now you see this will identify the new employees. How? You're selecting data from stage table, means this one, these 50 records. Select star from employee table where employee ID means every record will have employee ID, right? Employee ID not in, select employee ID from target table. So here you will get 10,000 employee IDs, but you are saying the stage table employee ID should not be present here. So the stage table employee ID not present in this employee ID means what? He is a new record. He is a new employee. Are you clear this logic?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, Prasad, you are also clear?
Yes, yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yeah, cool. Yeah, that's why I mean very simple only, but you need to just know basic SQL. That's all. So that means you identified the new records. Okay, cool. What is next step? You just insert. Once you identify the records, so the next step will be insert the new records into target table. Same thing. Insert into target target.emp. Select. Okay. Insert into this one. Select same above query you will place here. Then all the data that is coming here in the above query, that will be inserted here. Same SCLECT. Select star from stage.emp where emp id not in. Same thing, that select emp id from target. That means actually this subquery will identify the new records. I mean, whatever the subquery I wrote in the bracket, or whatever the query that I wrote above, I used it as a subquery here. So in that subquery, I'm actually identifying the new records and I'm inserting into the target table bus. That means you are actually inserting the new employees into the target table, because the target table you should always maintain the latest data. Cool. Similarly, you also will update target table from the stage table, just to make sure that in case if there are any updated records, they will be updated. Okay, so yeah, for that you need to write update. I mean, update which table you should update? Target. Update target.emp from. I mean, this is the syntax actually. If you are updating two tables, stage.emp, comma target.emp, you have to mention both the tables. Okay, so update target table. Actually, which table you are updating? Target table. From, you need to mention all the tables involved. Okay, so then set. Actually, in update you have to use set. So in this set, for example, you just use stage, and here you use, I mean, aliases for simplicity. Okay, set stage dot column equals to set tzt dot column equals to stg dot column. Okay, so similarly tzt dot whatever that column 2 equals to stg dot column 2. Like that, you have to mention all the columns. Okay, so what happens? It will update target table and run all the columns update statement, so that if there is any records that is updated, it will automatically updating the target table. So I mean, finally you will mention, I mean, you put tzt dot column 3 equals to stg dot column 3. I mean, you will mention all the columns, how many columns are there, then where tzt dot join column, for example employee id. equals to stz.empid bus. Why I mentioned this join column? For example, this join column means matching records. Matching records means what? It's the existing record. So you are basically updating the existing records only. Existing records only will get updated, right? New records means you're already inserting. Existing records only you want to update if there are any changes from the source. So this join condition will take care updating all the matching records to the new value. New value is coming where? From stage table. Stage table only will have new value, right? So that's why you will put target column equals to stage column, target column 2 equals to stage column, target column 3 equals to stage column. So if any data comes as updated from in the stage table, that will be updating in the target table. So like that, yeah, we will write these two SQLs. So basically this is script 1. First one is insert select is script 1, and this is script 2. So this only one ETL job, insert followed by update. This is one job we call one script or one job, and we daily schedule this job. Every day we'll schedule this job. So maybe using Linux cron. Cron, you know, right? Cron is a scheduler in Linux. Linux command to schedule this. So every day, if you schedule at maybe let's say 1 a.m. or 2 a.m. or 3 a.m., that will be running every day. It will extract the data from the source, and it will check for new records and insert it, and then run the update statement to update any of the existing records. So that is what basically you will do in the real time. Okay, so yeah, but if you are trying to do this using Spark or something, there also you will write the Spark script. In Spark also maybe they will be using Python or Scala or PySpark something. Okay, so generally PySpark, these tools will come under big data environment or data lake environment. But in data warehouse, yes, you need to do with SQLs. Okay, so yeah, these scripts only you will be doing in the real time. That's why in the interview they will be asking you, most weightage will be on the SQLs apart from the theory concepts. Yes, definitely you have to answer, what is SCD type 1, otherwise how do you write? Or for example, if you don't say what is SCD type 1, they will think that you have not worked on it. You have not worked. At least you have not worked on this data warehouse type of implementation. So you should say that yes, I know SCD type 1, type 2, type 3, and then they will ask how good are you in SQL. Then you can say, or sometimes they may ask how do you implement type 1. Same thing that I have told you, you need to tell. So that is SCD type 1. Then so in SCD type 1, what we are doing practically, we are basically maintaining the current data. Okay, if new records are there, insert it. If any existing records, just update it. Bus. Or if you are doing full extract, just truncate and load. Truncate means basically what is truncate? Just it will delete all the data, and load means insert. Okay, so insert all the data that is coming from source to target. That is very simple. If you are doing truncate and load. Okay, so yeah, okay, then SCD type 3. In SCD type 3, I'll tell you SCD type 2 later. In SCD type 3, what we will do is we always maintain current data, plus we also will keep some recent history, like last 30 days data or last 60 days data or last 90 days data. Why? Because, for example, this is one type of business requirement. For example, when you call to a customer care, for example, you call to telecom, telephone services like Airtel or BSN or something, you will say that last month I have recharged it for 90 days, but only 30 days over. It was showing like my plan will be expired tomorrow. Then he will check it, your history. last 30 days because you said in 30 days. So generally for sometimes customers will call 90 days. I have done it in some 3 months ago. Can you please check? So in order to help the customers, so these support people will be given access, or customer care executives will be given access. So otherwise they cannot answer, right, our queries. So that's the reason. So that means when we that is one type of requirement. And similarly any customer service people will have access to at least some 3 months data, because if you ask, even let's say you ask for 6 months back query, then they will say that sir, we will not be having access to that, can you please visit the branch? So they will say something like that, or they will direct you to the respective branch where that history data will be available, or where the people with history data access will be available. So that is another type of requirement, that is SCD type 3. So in SCD type 3, what they will do, in SCD type 3 they will maintain current data. So this code is current data, plus they will maintain the recent history. So recent history means what they will do is, for example, yeah, so they have inserted, right? They have inserted new records and updated existing records. So what they do here is they will wait. I'll write one query. Then you can tell the answer. Delete from tz.emp or table where okay. So let's actually this load date is a date in the table. Okay, so okay, now can you tell me what this query will do? Delete from target where load date. Okay, load date greater than date minus 90. So generally you can use date, or you can also use current underscore date. So can anyone tell, Somnath, can you tell me what this query actually will do?
It will delete from the target the last 3 months data.
Okay. Prasad, can you tell me if you know, or if you don't know, you can tell don't know.
Sir, before after 90 days, data will be deleted, sir. Removed. Reach
Huh?
90 days.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, can you tell again, Prasad?
Suppose reach 90 days, above the 90 days, the data will be removed.
Okay. Okay, you can put on mute. So please note that this, all these queries are running every day. Okay. Yeah, first this inserting new record, then updating the existing record, followed by this will be done in SCD type 3. Okay, this is the third script. So this is the third script that will run. Okay, cool. So what it will do is every day it will run, right? So from the table, for example, you see, I will tell here. Current date. What is today's date? 30th July. Okay. So 30th July. minus 90 days. It will remove 90 days. Okay. So basically, July, right? June 30, May 30, April 30. So actually, this date will refers to 30 what June, May, April. Okay. I mean, I just take okay. So I just took okay 90 days as the okay 30 May, June, July. Yeah. Okay. So this date will be current date minus 90 date. Actually, this is the date. So if any data load date is greater than this one, okay, that should be deleted. So that's what it means actually. Okay, any date means if anything that comes. Okay, so that means 31st. I mean April will have only 30. That May 1st. That is greater than this, right? So that will be deleted. That means here we have written the logic. I mean greater than this. Yeah, logic. I think we need to edit the logic. It should not be greater than. It should be less than. Wait, greater than means yeah. May, June, July. Yeah, it should be less than. Okay, so if it is less than means anything less than this date. Less than this date means what? March, February, Jan. That will be deleted because that's we don't want, right? We want only recent 90 days. Okay. Hello. Hello. Are you following me? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I mean, you see, our point is we have to have recent data. Recent data means recent should be recent to current date. So current date, for example, July 30. So we want June data and May data. Okay. So and July data. So anything less means what? February, Jan, that data will be that should be deleted. So it should be any data that is older than this data. It should be deleted. So okay, load date less than this date should be like that. We should write this logic. It's not greater than. Greater than means it will come recent data. Last 90 days data it will come. It is not greater than. It's less than symbol. Less than symbol means any date which is less than this 30th April. Less than this 30th April means March data, February data, Jan data, that should be deleted. Okay. So yeah, it will be deleted. So tomorrow it will be 31st. Tomorrow it will be what? 31st 07 2022 minus 90. So it refers to what? First 06 05. So that means tomorrow when you run this 30th data will be deleted. 30th data will be deleted. Yesterday when you run, I mean today when you run, 30th data will not be deleted. 29th data will be deleted. So tomorrow when you run, 30th data will be, because this job will run every day. So at any point of time, it will make sure current 90 days data will be there in the table because of the delete statement at the end of this script. Are you clear? So and after tomorrow if you run, only it will have up to second. So first of May data will be deleted. Like one day you are going progress, and from last one day data will be deleted. So that it always maintain only 90 days of the data because of this logic. Delete from target table where load date less than current date minus 90. So in that way they will maintain always some 90 days or 60 days or 120 days as per the logic in SCD type 3. Somnal, are you clear? I mean, do you got the point right? how they maintain recent history or recent data apart from current data.
So you can hear me.
Yeah,
Am I
I mean,
audible?
no, we are not able to hear
Hello?
you. We are not able to hear you.
Not.
Uh, can you
Is
talk
it?
now?
Yeah, is it better now, sir?
Yeah,
Hello?
yeah, we can hear. Yeah, we can hear now.
Yes, sir. Sorry, I was talking. I thought you were hearing. Yeah, so sir, what I was asking is, so for SCD type 3, we have to run the third script first, right? And then the first and the second.
Yeah, yeah. Obviously, first you have to insert the new records, then update the existing record, then last delete statement. Delete is the last statement.
No, sir, I'm saying select for inserting means it will insert which I have to do delete later, right? So I think first we should delete, right? Older data, or correct me
No, no,
if
no.
I'm wrong.
Delete
Like
should be
I'm saying,
running last. No, no, no. You see, if you don't insert today's data, okay, then
hmm.
today's data will not count under 90 days, right? So always you should do insert, okay, insert today's file and then update, okay, if there are any existing
But
records.
this, but so you are doing select employee ID from target.emp. So all the employee ID which will be deleted later also, that records will also get insert if it comes for those. Is it something I'm like thinking? Yes.
Yeah, that's
Uh,
okay. I mean, all the records, not only employee IDs, all the records you are deleting from the table. That means only
hmm.
it will maintain the transactions that occurred only 90 days. You are not deleting the employees from the table. You are deleting the transactions. Okay, for example, you
Hmm.
see,
Okay.
you call to Airtel table. Okay, so
Hmm.
you say that in 30 days ago I recharged. So he will have say that I have only 30 days history, but if you did 60 days, I don't have your record. He will say that I don't have your record. It does not mean that your Airtel subscription is deleted. No, you are still active employee, but your transaction is not there in his table. I mean, transaction. This I'm talking about. This is a transactions list actually. That's why I put load date. Okay, load date means any loading happened in 90 days it will have. Okay, so that means if anything that happened in 90 days only he will see. Other than that he will delete. It does not mean that you will delete from the employee table, I mean employee record. Only transactions you will see. It's not, I mean, you don't delete anything from the employee table. Okay, so yeah, I think this employee, I think based on this employee table, you got confused. But yeah, this is related to some transaction table where the customer care executives will see. Okay, if your transaction is there in the last 90 days, only he can answer. If it is not there, he cannot answer your query.
Got it, sir. Got it. Thank
Okay.
you. Hmm.
Yeah. So that's what. So same thing. For example, we call to customer care and he has only 90 days data, but you asked the 90 days past data or means more than 90 days. Then he will say that I could not see any of your transactions in the last 90 days. He will say because the transaction was not there in that 90 days. Maybe he did 100 days ago, then he will say that I think we don't have 100 days ego history, or let's say he has 90 days history, but you call to customer care and say that I think when he will ask when did you perform the transaction, I think around some 50 days. Then he will see in the 50 days, no, I could not see in 50 days. Then can you see 60 days? Then he will see in the 60 days. Then he may find it, but you did it 100 days ago. Then he will say that I have only access up to 90 days. In this 90 days your transactions are not there. I think if you do older than 100 days, I think it's not there in my access. Can you please visit the branch? Something he will suggest. So that means only your transaction list is not with the support engineer or customer care agent. It does not mean that your record is deleted or your subscription to Airtel is deleted. Nothing like that.
Yeah, but sir, it is named as SCD like it's slowly changing dimension. So transaction
Right.
table we are deleting. Okay, okay. So that, to get that SCD3 we will delete from transaction. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You got it right. SCD type 3 means we will maintain only current data plus recent history.
So for a particular pipeline or particular business scenario, we can have SCD1, SCD2, 3 both all three, or it will be only one. Like it will follow SCD1 or it will follow SCD3 like that.
Okay, so SCD type 2 is a very important and most complex, but let's see. SCD type 2, create your targets for okay. So in SCD type 2, what we do is we maintain current data plus full history, Okay, so okay, then how do we track the history in SCD type 2 is like this. For example, you see you have employee ID, okay, employee table, employee ID, department number, employee name, then of course salary and everything will be there, okay. Then what we do is, you see, every table will have employee ID, employee name, department number, salary, and all those things. But while implementing SCD type 2, we add two more columns here: start date and end date. Like this, we two columns we will add it. Okay. So actually, I'll tell you. Actually, SCD type 2 can be implemented in three ways: date range method, flag method, version method. Okay. So date range, flag, version. In date range means, and all the companies are using date range method, but even use flag method or version method, but still date range should be used. Apart from that, you can have a flag and version, but date range is compulsory. So most of the people will use date range. Okay. While date range is alone is sufficient, so additionally flag and version is not required. So that is the reason many customers are not using. So date range is every customer is using. So that's why date range you should know. And of course, once we discuss date range, I will tell flag and version. Date range means they will add start date and end date, okay, two new columns to your table. If you're talking about employee table SCD type 2 implementation, then you will have all the columns of employee, and then you will have start date and end date. Okay, so start date and end date is not coming from the source. Please remember, these two columns are not coming from the source. These two are added by you. Okay, cool. So then, okay, what happens? What happens is, you see, your date will, okay, so you are getting from source only these columns: employee ID, employee name, salary, department number, date of joining. You are getting only these columns from the source. But while loading, it will be loaded like this, because you added two columns, right? Start date and end date. So generally when you load it, okay, so employee 101, okay, name, salary, department, date of joining, and start date will be actually the start date will be actually the joining date, okay, or the hire date. Okay, start date will be when the employee started working from here. Basically, when he will be working from here, it is actually his joining date. Okay, so his joining date will be start date, and end date will be okay. See, end date will be when a record first inserted. End date will be this one. I mean, actually, it will be 31/12/9999. Means actually high ended. This is called high ended, they call. Or of course, you can also write it as 9999/12/31. So actually, this is called high ended. High ended they call in the real time terminology. Just remember that means if you see any record end date is this one, that means he is a active employee. 9999/12/31 not yet come, right? And it will come after some 7,000 years ago. Okay, so that's the, if you find any record like this, it's a high ended, means he is a current employee. So first this Krishna record will be inserted like this only. when it first loaded, it will be like this. Okay, so start date will be joining date and date will be 9999/12/31. That means he is an active employee. So let's say after, okay, after 3 months, okay, after 3 months means January, February, March, okay, 3 months over means from April 1st he changed his department. Okay, he became an architect. So you see here employee ID will be same, name is same, and salary he got promoted. So his salary changed from 10,000 to 20,000, and the department he became an architect. So his department got changed from SC to architect, and the date of joining will be same. Start date in the architect role will be this one. Okay, start date, you see, start date, when is the start date in the architect role? 1st April 2022. Okay, so then the previous record will be closed. See, previous record will be closed with, see, this start date -1, that is 31st March 2022. Because you have to close the existing record because he has started a new role from April 1st. So you have to close the existing record with the new role date -1, that is 31st March 2022. That means, yeah. So that means based on what you are understanding after seeing this data, that means this Krishna is an employee. He is worked in SC department from 2020 January 1st to, okay, 31st March 2022. Then he became an architect. Okay, and with this salary he joined from April 1st. He worked in an architect department. So when he joined in architect department, this record will become 9999/12/31. Bas. So after seeing that, what you will see, okay, this particular employee worked from January 1st to 31st March 2022 as an SC, and then from April 1st onwards he worked as an architect. As right now he is an architect. How can you say right now he is architect based on this end date? End date 9999/12/31 means he is a current record, that is the current active record. 9999/12/31 is the current active record. Let's say after joining there, after 1 month he changed his department. After 1 month only, because let's say architect he thought that maybe he is not able to do, and or let's say he got some hike and he got another internal posting and he want to change his department, and he changed as a BI engineer. Okay, BI engineer means some, I mean, BI related tool. He will work something like Tableau, Cognos, Business Object. So, and he also gave some 5,000 hike. So he changed, let's say. So then what happened? This 9999/12/31. Now you have to close this record, right? He worked only there for 30 days. So 30th 04. So you will close this record because from May 1st onwards he started a new role, okay, in the same company. So this record is 9999/12/31. Bus. So after seeing this, tell me what do you understand? Okay, this employee has joined 1st 2020 January 1st, but now he is active in this role. How can you say based on this end date only you can say 9999/12/31? That means before that he has changed 2 roles. Okay, in SC role he worked from January 1st to 31st March 2022. means almost 2 years, 2 months. He worked there as an SC. After that, he became an architect with salary 20,000, and then he was there. He was there only for 1 month. Then he became a BI engineer with salary 25,000, and then yeah, he is right now in this role from 1st May. So you are getting complete data of the employee, right? Just by seeing this SCD type 2 table, complete history. Yes,
Yes,
or
sir.
no? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So
Yes.
yeah, so this is what SCD type 2 table. Like that is maintained for every employee. And I mean, this is, I was talking about employee data. Similarly, if it is insurance policy, yes, this is the case for insurance. If it
Sir,
is any whatever business may be, okay,
sir,
it will
sir.
be, yeah,
So suppose Krishna is working in SC department. Is there some location?
okay.
Suppose Hyderabad. He
Uh,
is he is changed with the arc department in some Chennai.
okay.
Then that data will how it's stored.
That location will be there in department table, right?
Okay.
Yeah, department table in SCD type 2, department table will be updated, right? Department, this is employee table. So definitely when he location got changed, that location will be there in which table? Department table. DPT. DPT will have DPT number, location, or yeah, DPT number, email, location.
Ah,
Okay, so this table it will be updated. Or let's say here location also you have another column. Okay, let's say I have inserted here location, you see. Let's say, I mean, as per you, I have taken location. So no problem. If location got changed, wait, if location got changed, then location also will be updated. For example, I will show you. Wait. You see how the SC department got updated, how the salary got updated, how the salary got updated, how the SC to architect to BA engineer got. Similarly, location also, for example, first time he is in Hyderabad. So second time, let's say he became an architect in Mumbai, then it will be Mumbai. Then as a BA engineer, he joined in Bangalore, it will be BLR. So whatever department, wherever location, everything will be updated. And you see, and from which date to which date, that will be tracked based on these two columns only, start date and end date. Let's say he has not location got not changed, then location will be same, it will be same in HYD. If location, because he is moving departments in the same location, it means. But let's say, as you said, he changed it to Chennai, then Chennai, then he be engineer, he joined in Bangalore location, then it's BLR. So yeah, whatever change, it will be also reflected. How the salaries are reflecting then, how the designations are changing. Similarly, location also will be changed if the location column is present in this table. Or if location is tracked separately in another table, there it will be get updated because as his location got changed. Got it, Prasad?
Yes, sir. Got it.
Yeah. Somnath, you are also clear, right?
Yes, sir. So what is the version and flag? You are coming to that.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what I'm coming there. You see, that is very simple. Version and flag means Apart from start date and end date, they will try to add one more column, something like version. Okay, so yeah, see, apart from start date and end date, in version they'll keep it as first time recording version 1 or something like v1. Same, how do we maintain versioning for our document? Then because there was a change, it will be updated with v2, or when there is a change, one more change, it will be updated with v3 like this. So let's say there is another employee joined. Okay, 102, something, his name is Krish. Okay, so something like he joined with some 2000 salary as a associate engineer. Okay, then you see his version will be v1. Any new record will start with version 1. Okay, so yeah, his date of joining will be something, and let's say his date of joining is 0101. Then here also start date will be 0101, and start date will be 01/01/2020, and end date will be 9999/12/31. So anyone, if is active record, 9999/12/31, and version will be v1 first time. And if there is a change, then only v2, then next change v3, like that. That's why they are not much significant, this version. And similarly flag, FLEZ, flag.
So we'll use it with start date, end date, both or either.
Both. If end date is not there, how do you track from which date to which date he was there? Or how do you track which is the latest record? End date should be there.
Okay, sir. So I
Okay.
mean to say, sir, version, when we'll use version, when we'll not use version, or flag, we can say.
Actually, see, actually the both version and flag is not required. I'm saying, right. Earlier, maybe some 8 years ago, some customers were using, but nowadays no one is using version and flag methods. In flag method, one means active. So first time when record got inserted, okay, it will be, I mean, they will put one notation. Okay, one means current record. Okay, so remaining all will 0. So let's say, for example, 101 employee, it is not current record, so it is 0. And this record also not current record, so it is 0. So this is the current record, so it will have 1. So that means active record, you maintain the flag 1, and flag 0 means yeah, that means that is not the active record. So basically, actually these two, actually these are not required, because that is unnecessary, because the same thing we can know based on the start date and end date. Based on high end date 999 and 12/31, that is current record. So then you don't need. But even, I mean, actually nowadays no one is implementing version and flag. Okay, so but let's say if they are implemented, it's like overhead. You have to have one more flag. I mean, obviously to occupy some bytes, right? Even one character, and if it has some billions of records, billions of bytes will be used. So okay, if there is flag, of course you can select star from table name where flag equals to 1 means that is the all the current active records. Or select star from table name where high and date equals to 9999/12/31 means those are the current active records. So then what is the use of the version and flag? Actually not required. But yeah, those are the 3 different ways actually it's available, but nobody uses. I mean, if you use it, but that's a poor design. Basically, poor design means you will be making things complex with additional version, because in the ETL logic also you have to write, right? Every time you update this end date, you have to update the version, and again while inserting you have to add the new version. So some additional logic you need to write. But latest all ETL architectures, they are not maintaining this version and flag. This is only for your knowledge, because generally in the interview they will ask. Okay, what are the different ways you can implement? At that time, you should not say that I don't know. That is the reason I said those two. But yeah, they are not implementing. Okay, so everyone is implementing start date and end date. And in fact, I was asked multiple questions. This question: how do you identify the active records from the SCD type 2 table? Can you tell me how do you identify the active records from the SCD type 2 table?
End date, based on the end date.
Yeah, tell me the query.
Okay.
Tell the query.
Based on only started end date or flag? Flag, with flag it is very easier. But with
Tell me
started end date you have to.
whatever you are comfortable. You tell me. I was asking like an interviewer. How do you identify active records from?
Yeah, select star from table where flag equals to 1.
Okay,
This is
cool. Yeah.
the,
Where flag equals to 1. Yeah, if you are using then flag method,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, if we
Yeah.
are not
Yeah.
using,
Then you should say
we are going where date. So for that, if you are using only started end date, what we have to mention?
yeah. So tell me what you have to mention if you are using start date and end date. What I said for active record.
Yeah. Yeah. So 9999 that thing you have to check. So, like how can we check? Is it like a string? We'll check. Uh, right.
You see, that's what I said, right? If it is you are using a start date and end date, then only active record will have 9999 1231, right? Other dates will not have 9999 1231, right?
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Full figure. Yeah. So where end date is equal to 99991231.
that one.
Yeah.
Got
So
it.
that means those are all only active records.
Okay. So what do you
Accept?
have you seen generally mostly SCD 1, 2, 3, which is being mostly used in analytics use cases?
All are used. All are used and all will be asked in the interview.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, we have to, yeah, everything will be used. SC type 1 will be, you see, everyone will maintain history, right? If they don't maintain history, they are losing the data. Once you lose the data, can you get the data? You cannot get the data, right?
Correct. Correct. Sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so everyone will use the data. So everyone will maintain the history. So everyone will need the current data. So that's where these are all. That's what we are doing as a software engineers. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So very important class, and in every interview you will get these questions. So yeah. So version and flag. So yeah, if you are saying when flag equals to 1, then you have to mention that. Yeah, if you are using flag method. Okay, but by default we'll use start and end date method. So here end date is called high end date. High end date is 9999 1231. So every time when record is active, it will be inserted with start date as the high date. Okay, or when the employee joined, and end date will be because he joined, right? So there is no end date, so you will keep it as open 9999 1231. Or some people will keep, I mean, there are designs high-ended. They don't maintain 9999 1231. They'll just keep it as a null. Hello. They just leave it as null. They don't put any value here. Okay. So that
Okay.
means what? So that means end date null means what? There is no end date for that record. Means he is currently active record, active employee.
So for
You
SCD 1
understand?
and 3, yeah. So for SCD 1 and 3, we will not add any extra columns or not needed, or is it sometimes optional? Can you explain it?
No. For SCD 1 and 3, what is the need of extra columns? We are not maintaining history, right?
Yeah.
Here we are
But we
maintaining history. Here we are maintaining history, so we need extra columns. In SCD type 1, you are just inserting new records and updating existing records. So we are not maintaining history there. So we don't no need of additional columns in SCD 1 and 3. Only in SCD
okay.
type 2 only we need start date and end date columns. Clear?
Yes, okay.
Sir, in type 3, no, not required for started end date, sir. Recent history will
Huh?
maintain. In type 3, sir. Type 3
Yeah,
in
recent. Yeah, recent. Yeah, recent history means yeah, recent transactions. Recent transactions will be. That's why we are having some load date, right? Load date. For example, yeah, I have showed somewhere load date. Load date is not actually the employee history. These are only transactions. Means when the record in say or when the transactions happened by that customer. But here the history is when he joined and when he changed, that one in SCD type 2. But here the load means is there any transaction happened on this or not? This load date. Load date means if you load today, today date also will be loaded. These are all called some additional columns, or actually they are called what we call some. I mean, every day when load date is for a transaction date and time. See, whenever you do something, date and time when this happened like that, we'll track it, right? When it happened, date and time. So same thing. If something you do anything, this date, load date when that happened.
sir, type
Yeah,
3,
that
type 3, sir, type 3 is only purpose of use for transactions.
yeah, transactions will be captured recent up to 90 days or 120 days or 130 days, yes, or
Yes, yes.
140 days. Yeah. So if you perform any transactions in after 90 days, then you can call to customer care and they will be able to answer if you perform. If you didn't perform, they will say that we could not find that you have made any transactions in the recent 90 days. Can you please visit if you have performed maybe more than 90 days ago, like 100 days, 120 days. Or some customer care executives will be given access up to 120 days, like 4 months. So if you have performed any transactions like recharge or anything, or data recharge or even talk time, then they will be able to see. And if you cannot perform, then what they will do is sometimes they will raise a ticket on behalf of you if it is more than 90 days or 120, so that the team who has the access will be able to help. They at the time they will say that I have raised a service ticket. Give us some time. We'll update as soon as we get this information. Yeah, that is all transactions. Yeah.
I have one confusion. Maybe it is overlapping, but you can correct me. So this SCD 1, 2, 3, these are all slowly changing dimensions. Means loading the dimension tables. What are the different strategies? What different ways how we can have a record of the dimensions. But is there anything on the fact table, like how the fact table will be loaded?
Yeah, obviously, right. Similarly, fact table also, but in fact table, all the in fact table, what will be there? Measures will be there, right? Measures means new daily sales quantities. Those, yeah, those things will be added to the fact table. Okay, there is no history, nothing like that. As the data is getting changed to dimension table, or more transactions are coming, so numbers will automatically change, right, in
Yeah,
the
so
fact table,
sir,
because fact table will be
so
joined with the dimension table.
So while loading with SCD 123, we will be joining with the fact table and loading those data accordingly. Is it the correct thing, sir? So you're
So
new.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. So I mean to say that. So while loading with SCD one or two or three strategy, we will be joining with the fact tables dimension and facts. We will join and then load it in that manner. Is it correct? Uh,
No, no, no,
yeah. So
no,
I
no, no.
just
For while loading. No, while loading dimension table, we don't need anything. Dimension tables are independent, right? So the dimension tables will be loaded directly. But while loading with fact tables only, we will be joining with dimension table. Yeah, fact table logic actually difficult. It need to be joined with the dimension table because fact table will have all the keys of the dimension tables, right?
Hmm.
Fact
Yeah.
table will have
So
all
this.
the keys or not?
Yeah. So this SCD 1, 2, 3. This is all for loading the fact table by joining with the dimension table. Uh,
Yeah.
is it
Yes,
correct?
yes, yes. Yeah. Yeah, if for fact table, yes, all the dimension table will come into picture while loading. Okay. Yeah, it may be like
Hmm.
SCD type 1, type 2, type 3. I mean, whatever we are implementing. Yeah. While loading a fact table, yes, all the joints will come into picture. While loading dimension table, yeah, they're independent. Okay. I mean, no joints. They are simple.
Okay, sir. Got it.
Yeah.
But facts doesn't have any category, right? Here there is a category like 3 months, full or recent. Facts will have all the data to which dimension they will join, the recent or the 3 months old or the full,
No,
like,
no.
or there may be
Fact table.
multiple facts.
No, facts are not like that. If you want, you can join with the date dimension and get your monthly sales or weekly sales or quarterly sales or yearly sales, right? So it will have everything. Fact table will have everything. Only you see one thing. Actually, these SCDs are only for dimensions, right? What is this SCD? Slowly changing dimensions. Why are we talking about fact here? This is not SCF. SCD means these are only for dimension tables.
As for
You
SCD
understand?
3, you mentioned facts. No, so I got confused there. Maybe.
No, no, no. These are all only for loading dimension tables. SCD, in fact, SCD means slowly changing dimensions, right?
Mhm.
So only for dimension tables only we will maintain SCD type 1, type 2, type 3. Okay. Fact table, yeah, as the dimension tables load automatically when because fact table is joined with the dimension tables, right? So all the numerical values or measures will come when we join. For example, we want to calculate total sales or total quantity or average sales, and all the measures will be there in fact table, right? So the total means what? Aggregate, sum, min, max, average. So they will come automatically.
So fact will have like full load, like all history data, also
Yes,
recent
yes,
plus
it will
history.
have full load. Yeah, it will have full load. Yeah, fact means it will always have full up to date, all the quantities and measures up to date. Hello.
Yes, sir. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so all these SCD type 1, type 2, type 3 are only for dimension tables, not for fact table. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Fact, yeah, fact table will have all the data. Okay, it's not like Redis data, nothing like that. Fact table will, that's why generally fact tables are very big in number of records. Okay, if we daily update the dimension tables, because how we get the values for fact table from dimension table only, right? We'll join the dimension tables and calculate the values. How the where the quantity and all coming from dimension tables only, right? How many items sold? So when we join, automatically the total sales, total quantity will come. So there is nothing like SCD type 1, type 2, type 3 for facts. SCD means slowly changing dimension, means these are only for dimension tables. Okay.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So that's there. This name refers to slowly changing dimensions. So just by taking care of the dimensions, because fact table means obviously you're joining with the dimension table. So if there is more data in dimension table, you will get more quantities and more sales. I mean, whatever that is, that aggregate function, sum, max, min, average sales, all those will be calculated automatically. And if you want only for 3 months, 6 months, obviously fact table will be joined with the date dimension, right? Date dimension will have date, week, month, quarter, yeah, year and all. So by joining with fact table with date dimension, you can categorize based on daily sales, weekly sales, monthly sales, quarterly sales, all those things you will be getting. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So yeah, I think this is about the SCD type 1, type 2, type 3. Okay, so yeah, basically I would suggest you to study more about SCD type 2. Okay, about the SQL, how they will write SCD type 2 SQL. Okay, in SCD type 2 we are implementing using date range method, right? Date range method. So okay, anyway, first thing is that start date will be same as hire date and last date will be high end date. Okay, but while updating, you see here, while updating, what we are doing here while updating, we are closing the old record. We are closing the old record. Okay, with the current date -1. And we're inserting the new record with the current date, and high end date will be high end date will be 9999/12/31. Or yeah, some people will leave it as a null. Okay, but don't follow null practice. Okay, follow the high end date practice.
Sir, are there any other questions from this area, sir, that can be asked?
No, generally one thing they will ask is, I mean, that is very advanced question. How do you implement SCD type 2? Okay, so you should be knowing how do you implement SCD type 1. I mean, generally in the worst case, he will ask you how do you implement SCD type 2. Okay, if you can explain SCD type 2, this one question you will be selected. First of all, at least you should say that, yeah, at least you should be able to explain SCD type 2 well. If you're trying with some 2-3 years or 4 years experience, and if you are trying with some 5 years and above, yeah, you should know that so every record SCD type 2 will be implemented with start date and end date. Okay, and whenever a new record is inserted, start date will be same as high date and end date will be high end date, like 9999/12/31. Whenever there is a change, and end date will be changed, updated with current date -1, and a new record will be inserted with the new start date. See here, new start date, and new start date and high end date will be the end date of the new record. So similarly, if there is again another change, end date will be updated with current date -1, and a new record will be inserted with the new record, and end date will be update will be again with 9999/12/31. So like that, then okay, we can implement that using SQLs. So yeah, I mean, for same thing here, what we are doing, inserting and updating, this is only we are doing. Okay, so for that you need to write SQLs. So yeah, so that's why just to refer SCD type 2 implementation using SQL. That is the thing you need to search in the Google, SCD type 2 using SQL. There is many videos in the YouTube also, SCD type 2 using SQL. Okay, so we can use merge statement, or we can use just direct update with joining with target table and all. Okay, but you should know at least one method, generally joining with tables. If you know this alone, I mean, generally if he asks, you will be selected. But anyway, don't worry, this is a Redshift interview, so yeah, he will only just ask theoretically. Okay, but more focus will be on Redshift concepts. Okay, so in the SQL he will focus more on joins and all. Joins, like what is the inner join, left outer, right outer? Do you know any joins, Somnath?
Yes, I know some. Yeah.
Yeah, can you tell me what are the different types of joins?
Yeah, inner join, right join, left join, full join.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
these are the common
So
ones.
yeah, tell me what is the difference between inner join and left outer join?
Inner join, the common elements will be there from both the table, common records, and based on the joining key. And for left join, so all the records from the left table will be there, along with the matching records from the right table.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Cool. So yeah. So joins are important in the yeah, interview. And yeah, similarly, you should be knowing like inserting and updating this stuff, because we'll be writing this one only in all the SCDs implementation. So yeah, my exercise will be, okay, study about SCD type 2 implementation using SQL. You can refer any what is that, blogs or YouTube videos, and prepare a notes. Okay, notes means a series of SQLs how to implement SCD type 2. Okay, for both of you.
Yes, sir. So
Yes,
please
yes.
share this recording today so that I can go through it tomorrow.
Yeah, yeah, sure. And I think after that, I think we are entering into Redshift. We'll start from Monday. Hmm?
Okay, sir. Yeah.
Okay, sir.
So you want me to send this recording?
Yes, sir. Yeah. So that we can weekdays weekends we can go through it.